Trusted by over 100 service providers, Aptilo Networks is the world's #1 provider of large-scale IoT and Wi-Fi service management solutions. In this video, I will give you an overview over the Aptilo IoT Connectivity Control Service, or IoT CCS for short. I will also show some innovative B2B Wi-Fi connectivity services that mobile operators using IoT CCS can offer. We believe that mobile operators' traditional way of building everything from ground up with own resources and consultants is a paradigm of the past. The new modern way of thinking is to maximize the current investments by adding services delivered from the cloud to what you already have. Have strong focus on profitability and utilization of pay-as-you-grow business models, and to strive to be lean with mostly OpEx. This is the sweet spot for Aptilo IoT CCS. What are the features that IoT customers need that in many ways are different compared to traditional consumer mobile services? Secure and seamless connectivity is just not enough. Customers need active security handled by the operator, security as a service. They may also need a fully private connection, APN, and even to be able to route some of the traffic through the private connection and some of the traffic the quickest way out to some location on the open internet. IoT business customers need rapid deployments with services that are tailored to create great value just for them. And they want a low total cost of ownership over the IoT service lifecycle. They also need total control over all connections, be able to decide and control which device that can connect and what they can connect to. And they need proactive security since the devices for the most part is not monitored by humans. They need to be able to filter the traffic and set location-based and time-of-day-based policies. And they need policy control that are specific to their unique use case. Many also need global connectivity without roaming charges to enable a global business model. What's in an IoT service? Let's have a look from two perspectives: the value for the customers on the Y-axis and customers' ability to adapt to their needs on the X-axis. If you would just take one of the consumer broadband services and package it as an IoT service, then you would end up in the lower left corner, a standard service with a pretty low value for the customer. You can add additional features to increase the value, such as allowing customers to manage their own SIMs, provide a secure and private network through enterprise APN, add to that the possibility for customers to view their own analytics, manage security also for the traffic that goes outside the APN, that is, through a plain internet connection. International companies will need some sort of global APN connectivity without roaming charges. And highest value of all, be able to provide more granular connectivity and security policy control that maps perfectly to your customer's unique requirements and use case. You must also be able to put business customers in the driver's seat through a web self-service portal. That has an enormous value for customers. Staying away from service differentiation with agile customer-focused services comes with a high risk. Mobile operators that only offer SIM management and enterprise APNs will only compete on price per byte, and the business goes to the lowest bidder. The more you adapt your services for a customer-specific need and provide them with business-critical data and functions, the stickier as customers they get. In this matrix, you obviously have a make-no-sense zone. Why should you do adaptations that brings very low value? And in the upper right corner, you have something that we can call the high-profit zone. On the other side, the more standardized and basic service you provide, the easier it will be to replace you with a cheaper alternative. So here we have the churn zone. It is quite obvious where in this matrix you want to be. An important question that the mobile operators then must ask themselves is, how far can their current mobile core reach? To try to answer that question, we must look into what many operators have built their mobile core for. In large extent, it has been set up to mainly handle consumer services, with a handful of subscription types that relatively rarely need to be changed, and thus only need a few predefined policies. But the mobile core was not made for this. In the IoT era, more or less every customer needs their very own subscription type, with complex dynamic policies that are unique for each business customer. It must be possible to make policy changes instantaneously. There's just no room to wait for the next iteration of the mobile core policy implementations. So today, mobile operators can only select from two main strategies. Either they deliver some basic IoT services from their existing mobile core, or they choose to implement a dedicated mobile core just for IoT services. We have seen several mobile operators globally that have taken this path. The question is if they can accomplish all that they want even with a dedicated mobile core, and to what cost. The Aptilo IoT CCS was born when some mobile operator customers came to us with a frustration and a vision. Let's start with the frustration. They felt that they couldn't create agile, customer-focused IoT connectivity services. It was far too complicated to deliver global IoT connectivity services, and they couldn't deliver security services that went beyond enterprise APNs. What to do with all SMB customers that may not be able to handle VPN on their end? And to deliver a tailored solution for a customer took too long time. They needed to be more agile and fast on their feet in order to win new business. They challenged Aptilo to help them get the freedom to innovate new IoT connectivity services, provide an effective true global IoT connectivity service, provide IoT security as a service, and to help them to launch new complex IoT connectivity services in a matter of days instead of months, and let their customers do the most work in the daily operation. This is Aptilo IoT CCS. The Aptilo IoT CCS is an IoT connectivity control service that works in concert with any existing and future mobile core. It brings the flexibility and scalability necessary for operators to innovate in the IoT era. Operators can deliver IoT services for a fraction of the cost compared to the alternatives. They can offer an instant IoT service creation, unique for each customer's individual needs, something practical impossible in the current mobile core. The Aptilo service management platform is in the control plane, and we use Fortinet's next generation firewalls in the data plane for security and VPN connectivity. With many of our 100+ service provider customers, we have done extensive integrations with their mobile core in, for instance, mobile data offloading deployments. Our platform has also been deployed as a policy control function to handle policies for traditional cellular services. The service is delivered through Amazon Web Services, AWS, for rapid scalability and the possibility for local breakout of traffic. Aptilo is an AWS technology partner. IoT CCS is a truly unique innovation. Delivered as a service, it will only be an operational expenditure for the mobile operator. It adds a flexible, smart and secure IoT connectivity control layer on top of any current and future mobile core. Mobile operators can deliver innovative IoT services in days rather than months, and at a fraction of the alternative cost. The Aptilo CCS multi-tenancy virtual APN completely removes the complexity with setting up individual private APNs for each customer. A mobile operator only has to connect one standard APN to Aptilo CCS to serve all customers that are connected to the IoT CCS through standard VPNs. The Aptilo IoT CCS service is unique and one of its kind, created to enable IoT services that scales. Let's now examine a few of the highlights of this service. New customers are rapidly and automatically provisioned through an API, which include the customer's unique policy and the security settings and setup of VPN connection. With Aptilo IoT CCS, you can have specific policies per enterprise and even specific policies for each device. And we can make it scalable and manageable by enabling enterprise self-services via our extensive APIs. We also provide important security and traffic filtering features through FortiGate firewalls. This means that the mobile operator can offer a secure IoT connectivity also for customers that don't want or can utilize the secure VPN tunnel in our multi-tenancy virtual APN. Mobile operators can connect partner mobile operators to Aptilo IoT CCS in the same manner as they are connecting themselves. This, in combination with over-the-air localization of eSIMs, enables operators to deliver a truly global connectivity without roaming charges. Some traffic, such as device software upgrades, can be securely routed back to the customer's premise through the virtual APN connectivity, while all other traffic can be routed out directly to the internet through the nearest AWS point of presence. The Aptilo IoT CCS is in full control over the IP address assignments, which means that we can apply policy-based IP configurations. The real beauty with Aptilo IoT CCS is that it is a service that mobile operators just can add to what they already have. Aptilo IoT CCS takes care of all the connectivity control for IoT devices, including traffic shaping to limit speeds, etc. The existing mobile core can remain untouched, and the packet gateways only need to be set up with one IPsec tunnel and one GI-SGI interface towards the Aptilo IoT CCS. OSS, BSS systems and the IoT customer self-management can be integrated through standard interfaces or more commonly through our flexible REST or SOAP APIs. The enterprises with their IoT devices can now connect with their individual policies, and the traffic can flow in a number of different ways. Mobile operators can put their IoT customers in the driver's seat by offering a web-based self-management where they can set and control their own security and connectivity policies. The mobile operator can provide a private connection by securely tunnel traffic back to the enterprise through our multi-tenancy virtual APN. The traffic can also be routed directly out to the internet at any AWS point of presence globally that has the Aptilo IoT service enabled. The traffic is protected through granular policies per customer or even down to a single device. This is ideal for the SMB customer that may not have the capacity to maintain a VPN connection or want the traffic to go the closest route to the internet rather than going overseas between, for instance, US and Europe. A truly unique capability is to provide a hybrid between the two, where selected traffic goes over the open internet with filtering and some traffic goes through the multi-tenancy virtual APN. We call this policy-based local breakout, which is a more effective way to route traffic, especially in an international context. As discussed before, the MNO can also connect partner MNOs in order to provide global connectivity. Let's now look into some of the innovative use cases Aptilo IoT CCS enables. But before we do that, let me first show the use case for the mobile operators, exemplified by one of our Tier 1 mobile operator customers that approach us in frustration. They could not deliver the IoT connectivity services they needed. There were too many limitations in the mobile core, although it was enhanced by Ericsson DCP and Cisco Jasper. Complicated to provide private APNs to businesses at scale, inability to offer IT security services beyond APNs. Automatic onboarding of customers was not possible, and customers couldn't manage their own security and connectivity policies. It was impossible to set unique security and connectivity policies per customers, let alone per device. And difficult to bring global IoT connectivity without roaming and with policy-based local breakout. The operator concluded that a massive investment in dedicated mobile core for IoT wouldn't help. Their mobile core equipment was not able to offer managed security and granular policies at scale. We created Aptilo IoT CCS to solve all these issues and more. The mobile operator can now deliver innovative, secure and global IoT connectivity services in days rather than months to a fraction of the alternative cost. Setting up a new APN with IPsec tunnels to the enterprise that previously took weeks is now done automatically in a few seconds. Let's now investigate some examples of unique IoT services enabled by Aptilo IoT CCS. Acme Electric is a countrywide electrical power utilities company. They have hundreds of thousands, maybe millions, of simple IoT electrical metering devices. The low-cost devices have limited capacity for internal security features, such as VPN tunneling. The devices are physically exposed in people's homes and office buildings and are therefore subject to potential hacking, fraud, or sabotage. It is mostly upstream connections to transfer electrical usage data. They need to secure the traffic from the device to the receiving service and automatically detect usage anomalies, for instance, unexpected data patterns. The added value with Aptilo IoT CCS is this: traffic protected by the managed security, which includes a firewall, automatic detection of usage anomalies, reduced operational cost and correct user billing. Let's now look at the more complex use case. Edison Automobiles is a global electrical car company. Each of their cars have multiple onboard systems from different partner vendors that are in need for connectivity. You can say that each car is a cluster of different IoT devices, each with their very own need for connectivity. IT is their thing, so they have plenty of skilled resources capable for managing also complex settings via web interface or application interfaces. There's a vast variety of different needs and use cases. Car-to-car communications requires low latency. Some use cases, for instance, upload of extensive real-time analytics, require high upstream data capacity. Other use cases requires high downstream data capacity. For instance, download of software or passenger video entertainment. They may need geographical routing rules determined by the device profile settings. Here it may also be a need to have localized internet. That is, the internet traffic is routed to the home country's internet breakout. This is, for instance, for passengers to be able to view their Netflix series while abroad. Sensitive data such as analytics and software upgrades must be secured in VPN tunnels, one for each onboard system. The traffic must be separated through VPNs to multiple receivers on the server side. This type of company also has extremely high security requirements: end-to-end security, DDoS protection, anomaly detection, etc., etc. The added value of Aptilo IoT CCS. Analytics and predictive maintenance can securely be delivered to multiple partners. The same goes for remote software updates. New business models and vastly improved customer experience is enabled. And traffic can be adapted for real-time sensitive warning systems. Green Cab Taxi and Logistics is a small local taxi company. They are the direct opposite to Edison Automobile, in the sense that they have no IT resources at all. And they only have a handful of cars and delivery trucks. They run a few legacy systems that needs to have contact with their cars at all times. These systems have very limited security functions, as they were established already before the birth of Internet. So they need the operator to take care of this security as a service. VPN tunnels is not an option for this customer because they would never be able to maintain and manage the VPN connections. From the operator's perspective, they need this type of customer to handle their own settings. It is just not profitable if the customer needs too much help. It's a huge volume of potential customers in the SME segment, but each customer does not provide much revenues. It is a volume game. For this self-management to work, a super easy to use web interface or app with basic settings is a must. The added value of Aptilo IoT CCS: secure and easy to use connectivity, no need to upgrade existing systems, and the driver can connect via legacy taxi car equipment. Swash Electrical Scooter is one of those companies that offers app-based short-time rental of electrical scooters in large cities around the world. They have tens of thousands of relatively low-end devices in the form of electrical scooters. Swash need to secure traffic from the device to the receiving servers. They also need automatic detection of usage anomalies, for instance, unexpected data patterns. Their devices are exposed to potential user manipulations. The devices are frequently commissioned and decommissioned. In average lifespan is a few months. The e-scooter must only be mobile within a predefined area in the city. So they need to limit usage outside of defined localities, enable direct connectivity to each unique device. Hence, they need to have a private IP address. Allow for easy and instant blocking of devices that are lost or taken out of operation. Aptilo IoT CCS added values: secure connectivity and tracking, which is essential for the rental business case. Full control over usage, location, and anomalies. Control over IP assignment with private IP addressing. Forestry Corp is a forestry company that needs complex domestic IoT connectivity. They obviously need a secure connectivity to their HQ for things such as location tracking of vehicles, report quantity of cut timber, report machinery operation hours, etc., etc. But the Aptilo Virtual APN can also provide secure connectivity to other places, such as upgrade of vehicle firmware with the truck vendor and data exchange with the forestry machinery vendor to enable predictive maintenance. They may also want to enable internet connection for the integrated tablet device in the forestry machine. The connection is of course protected by the FortiGate's next generation firewall. The corporation may also want this protected internet connection to be controlled according to corporate policies. Aptilo IoT CCS added values: enables pay-per-use models with less downtime, enables just-in-time transport of timber, better working environment for machine operator. Let's now explore how Aptilo IoT CCS can be used in combination with the mobile operator's capability to do dynamic SIM localization with an eSIM using the latest EUICC technology. Fast Transport Inc. is a transport company operating over the North and Central America and they have turned to one mobile operator in Canada to solve all their connectivity needs. By connecting all partners MNOs to the Aptilo IoT CCS, the mobile operator can offer a global APN connectivity that can be shared by many enterprise customers through the multi-tenancy virtual APN concept. So let's see what happens when the truck passes different country borders. We start in Canada. As the truck enters the United States, the profile for the US partner MNO is enabled over the air. The truck continues to Mexico, and the over-the-air system makes sure that the eSIM switch to the local MNO partner in Mexico. With the Aptilo IoT CCS service, we can offer policy-based breakout for parts of the traffic to the nearest AWS point of presence. The granular policy control delivered as a service makes it possible to create more advanced and innovative IoT services. And the mobile operator can leave the control to the enterprise by enabling self-service. Aptilo IoT CCS added values. Seamless international connectivity without roaming. Significant lower traffic costs internationally. Lower latency with selected traffic out to the nearest AWS point of presence. Let's now translate what we just learned to a stationary thing. Bean & Boats is a coffee machine maker renting out their coffee machines to coffee shops globally. They need a secure APN connectivity to handle firmware upgrades, to get reporting, and to get data for predictive maintenance. Just imagine the cost savings using the localization we just talked about in the previous case. They can have one eSIM configuration in their production and in stock rather than having to stock units for each individual country. And by choosing an operator with a global MNO partnership and enabled by Aptilo IoT CCS, they can get a global APN connectivity through one VPN connection instead of maintaining APNs with each local operator. This means massive cost savings in logistics and less tied up capital. And with a policy-based local breakout, they can provide a more local connectivity with lower latency for the management app used by the coffee shop's employees. Aptilo IoT CCS added values. Massive savings in global logistics and predictive maintenance. Less tied up capital. Selected traffic can go out to the nearest AWS point of presence, which means lower latency and a better user experience. This was just some of the use cases that Aptilo IoT CCS enables. The bottom line is this: Aptilo IoT CCS gives mobile operators the freedom to innovate IoT services that were literally impossible to achieve in a strict 3GPP environment. Aptilo CCS, because you don't need another mobile core.